Children, welcome back for EVS once again. So children, today we are going to start with a new chapter of EVS, that is time, days and months. Okay, now we have already finished with our earth. Let us begin with the chapter time, days and months. Now it is a very easy topic, but people usually, without time, without days, without months, we won't be able to understand. We won't be see we are living where every day is fixed. We have fixed our day, we have fixed our schedule, we have fixed everything, right? Time to time we do things. So this is what, if we don't know how to tell time, and it becomes difficult for us, right? So let us begin and see what it is. Now, every morning, the first thing that you do is you get up. Okay, now from the last year you did not go to school, but the next thing was you used to get up and get ready and go to school. Then in the afternoon, in school only, you used to have lunch or whatever it is. Okay, then you come back. Maybe some children have their timings till 2, some children have their timings till 1. School timings are different, and our school timing is like we come, or you all go back home at 3:15, right? So this is what is the regular schedule timing. Afternoon, then after coming back, obviously you all play, you have something, you eat something, and then you play. Then evening is the time when everyone, or all the parents want their children to do the homework. Whatever homework has been given by the teacher, you complete your homeworks and have lunch. Sorry, have dinner in the evening or at night, whatever. And then the last thing that you do is you go back to sleep. So this is the routine set according to your morning, evening, or afternoon, or then night, whatever it is. So everything is being set by us. Okay, now how to tell time? So how do we know that this is evening, or this is this time, or this is this time? So how to tell time? We measure time in hours, minutes and seconds. So we usually measure time in hours, minutes and seconds. A day is made up of 24 hours. There are 24 hours in one day. Each hour, 1 hour has 60 minutes, and 1 minute has 60 seconds in it. Now, we use clocks to tell time. So, there are very important things that to be had to be kept in mind. Like when we are looking at the clock, you all must be having a clock at your home, right? There are usually two hands. Some clocks have three hands. Okay, now these three hands have different functions, or they are showing us different, or they do different work in the clock. Okay, now first hand that we are going to talk about is a small hand. That small hand is usually tells us about hours. Okay, the smallest hand in the clock. Then a big hand is there, right? Then that big hand is usually tells us the minutes. Okay, it moves according to the minutes. And the biggest one more thinnest and biggest hand is there, which moves very fast in the clock. That hand is known as the seconds hand. Okay, so there are three hands: hour hand, minute hand and seconds hand. Now, hours in time. Count the numbers on the clock face. There are 12 hours. Okay, if you count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours. On the face of the clock, you will always see 12 hours. There are only 12 hours on the clock face. Okay, so the hour hand is the short hand. Just now I have told you this is the shortest hand, which tells you the hour. Although there are only 12 hours showing on a clock face, there are 24 hours in a day. But if you see on the face of the clock, there are only 12 hours, but full day has 24 hours in it. Okay, now that means what? Each clock moves two times a day, same circle it takes to two circles it completes to give you 24 hours a day. Now, minutes in time. There are 60 minutes on a clock face. There are 60 minutes on a clock face. Okay. Skip count by fives to count the minutes. Now you have 5, 10, 15, 20. That means 5 difference is this. Skip counting of 5 is there. In this case, the minute hand is the long hand. Now, just now I told you, long hand is the minute hand. Short hand is the hour hand. So, these things have to be kept in mind. You can see here, the numbers on a clock represent the hours, and here you can see hour hand and minute hand. Short hand is a hour hand, and long hand is a minute hand. Okay, so this is all what is important to look at the clock, and which tells us how the clock works. Now, we also tell time by observing the position of the sun in the sky. This is also very important. Actually, before, when there were no clocks, so at that time, how did they measure time, or how did they say that it was this or that? So, by looking at the sun. In the morning, the sun rises, that is morning time. Then, when the sun is literally above you, okay, at that time it is afternoon time. When the sun is setting, it is evening, and at night, when the sky is full of stars and moon, at that time it is night. So this is what is very, very important to understand. Now here, what's the time? What can you see on the clock? If children, this is in general which I am telling you, the long hand is on 12 and short hand is on 3. Okay, that means it is 3 o'clock. Whenever the long hand is on 12 and the short hand is on any other number, then it is o'clock only. Whatever the number, it may be 12 o'clock, it may be 11 o'clock, it can be 5 o'clock, it can be 6 o'clock. But just remember, the long hand should be on 12 and the short hand should be on any other number. Specifically on that number only it should be. Okay, it should not be in between. It should be on that number. And the long hand should be on 12. That is very, very important. Here you can see 1 o'clock. Okay, it is at 1. Short hand is at 1 and long hand is at 12. Now, can you tell the time? It is 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock or half past 3. It is 3 o'clock. Okay. Now here, 10 o'clock, half past 12 or 12 o'clock. It is 10 o'clock because it is on, long hand is on 12 and short hand is on 10. So it is always o'clock. Now, half past, when the minute hand is pointing to 12, read the time as o'clock. Okay. In this case, the hour hand is pointing to the 3 and it is 3 o'clock. See. Okay. Hour hand means small hand is pointing towards 3 and long hand is always pointing towards the 12. So it will be always o'clock. Just as I told you just now. Now, when the long hand is on 6, now half past. When the long hand, that is the minute hand, is on 6 and it's half past, that means 30 minutes. Like if the long hand, minute hand is on 6, okay, and the hour hand is in between two numbers, like if it is between 3 and 4, it will always be between 3 and 4 because when the minute hand is on 6, it will be between 3 and 4. Okay, so it is 3:30. Okay, it is not 4:30. If it is between 4 and 5 and on 6, then it will be 4:30. So you have to understand that half past is what? Half past means half an hour have already gone with that number. So that is what is half past. Okay, so whenever the minute hand is on 6 and small hand is in between any two number, so always it will be half past the above number, not the below number. Okay, if it is between 5 and 6, then it will be always half past 5. Okay, so this you always have to remember, and this is very very important. Now here, can you tell the time? Here the long hand is on first. Here the long hand is on 6. Short hand is in between 7 and 8. So it is what it is 7:30 or 7 half past 7. So it can be also written as 7:30 or it can also be written as half past 7. Now here, can you tell the time? It is between 4 and 5 and the long hand is on 6. So it will be half past 6, half past 4, 6 o'clock or half past 4. It will be half past 4 or 4:30. Now remember, the long hand is the minute hand, the short hand is the hour hand. There are only 12 hours on a clock face. There are 24 hours in one day. There are 60 minutes on a clock face. 60 minutes, okay? There are there are 24 hours in one day. There are 60 minutes in a clock face, on a clock face. Skip count by 5 to count the minutes on a clock. Okay, skip counting you have to do so that you can get the 60 minutes on the clock. Now whenever the sun rises, it is a daytime. And in the morning when the sun rises, obviously it is a beautiful morning, so it is always a new day. Night, night is dark. At night we all sleep. So these are the two important time changing time. Actually, in the morning whenever we get up, it is the morning time, and at night when we sleep, it is a night. Now, at 12 o'clock in the day, when the sun is right above our head, it is noon. We also call it midday. In the morning, that is in the afternoon, if when the sun is right above the head, it is above our head. At that time, it is midday. Okay, midday means middle of the day. Midday. So, at that time, half of the day has passed. That is why it is known as midday, middle of the day. Then at night, 12 o'clock. At night also there is 12 o'clock, right? So at night, it is midnight at 12 o'clock in the night. At 12 o'clock in the night, it is midnight. That is mid of the night, middle of the night. So short form of middle of the night is midnight and middle of the day is midday. So that means both the time 12 o'clock, it is either midday or midnight. Do you know, children, we write AM. Okay, we usually write AM and PM. Okay, these are the two things we use for writing the time. So which tells us whether it is evening time or whether it is morning time. Okay, so now we write AM after the time from midnight, that is night 12 o'clock till midday 12 o'clock. Okay, that means midnight till midday we always write AM in the morning. That means you all have your classes in the morning, maybe 9 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Okay. Now, we write PM after the time from noon to midnight. Now, the moment the clock strikes 12 noon, that is midday, the time changes. Time changes means it is then after 12, it is written PM. That means 12 p.m. 12 p.m. that means in the morning, midday it is, and 12 a.m. it is night, midnight. Therefore 3 o'clock in the morning will be written as 3 a.m. 2 o'clock in the afternoon will be written as 2 p.m. We now have clock and watches to know the time, right? So it is very easy for us to understand and to see the time, and accordingly do our work or whatever schedule we have decided to complete our schedule. But in earlier days, people used these things to know the time. Used sundials, water clocks, and hourglass to keep track of time. In olden days, there were no watches, there were no clocks invented. So at that time, how to see the time? So now, these were the gadgets used for uh, seeing the time. Sundial, it used to tell the time according to the position of the sun. Okay, there were some process, like they used to keep that, and the shadow that used to fall, looking at the shadow, they used to tell the time. It was like that. Then water clock was, it is, you see, you can see this vertical tube type, cone type actually, and in that water flows, and that the moment the water is finished, they used to count that how much time the water has been flowed. This was the technique they used to use to tell time from hourglass. From water clock. And hourglass, I think so most of them still have. Okay. So this is what is like, they used to keep sand in that hourglass, and the moment the sand used to drip down, they used to count the time. This is the way they used to count time in olden times, not now, but in olden times. So I hope, children, you all have understood how to tell time, or how to uh, I mean calculate time actually. That is very, very important to know. We should understand what is time and how time can be calculated. First of all, that is most important, is how to save time. Okay, we have so many gadgets, we have clocks, we have watches, we have mobile phones, we have other things to see the time. But are we really saving the time? Are we really utilizing the time, or taking care of time? Or uh, I mean, see, we can be so much productive using time, right? So are we doing that? That is the most important question for us now. Last year we all have seen, full year gone. So at that time, what we did nothing, right? Sitting at home, we were enjoying. But that time we wasted. We could have done so many productive things at that time, also sitting at home, or whatever the means of I means of communication, or means of uh, you know whatever, what to say, that was used, or that was available. Using those means, we could have done so many productive things. So whatever, okay, now the time has been gone. One most important thing about time is, it does not come back. Okay, once gone, gone. So you have to take care of the moment, and be productive, utilize that moment, and can do many different things. Okay, so thank you, children. Here I end this. Other things will be continuing in next session.